Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. Today is Monday, May 30th. I'm Stephanie Haney and thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. These are the stories that matter most to you here in Northeast Ohio because these are the stories that you are clicking on, reading, and sharing from our website and our app. And thank you very much for being here on this Memorial Day. Stick around to the end because we have a very special guest to be making an introduction to you today. But first, let's remember that today is Memorial Day, and this is a day to remember those that died in active military service. So today, President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden were joined by Vice President Kamala Harris, Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley. And they were at Arlington National Cemetery where they laid a ceremonial wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So President Biden laid the wreath of red and white roses that were wrapped in red, white, and blue ribbon in front of the tomb. And the purpose of today was to honor fallen service members. So he said, Memorial Day is always a day where pain and pride are mixed together. He said, today we are free because they were brave. So thank you to all of the service members who gave the ultimate sacrifice so that we can be here with our freedoms today. And today there was a Memorial Day service in Shaker Heights, and our very own Leon Bibb was the special guest speaker at the City Hall in Shaker Heights. He is a veteran himself, and he was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for his service in the Vietnam War. Thank you for your service, Mr. Leon Bibb. You can see his full remarks on WKYC.com. Back to the president. As more information becomes available about the Uvalde school shooting in Texas, President Biden said today that there might be some bipartisan support to tighten restrictions on the kind of high-powered weapons that were used by this person. He told reporters before honoring the fallen at Arlington National Cemetery, he said this, I think things have gotten so bad that everybody's getting more rational. At least that's my hope. In Congress, there's a bipartisan group of senators talking over the weekend and to see if they could reach even a modest compromise on gun legislation. It's been a decade of mostly failed efforts. One of the things in conversation is encouraging state red flag laws, and what this would do would be keep guns away from people with mental health issues. President Biden said this, the Second Amendment was never absolute. That means completely unchecked without any restrictions. He said you couldn't buy a cannon when the Second Amendment was passed. You couldn't go out and buy a lot of weapons. So he's making that comparison to ask for bipartisan compromise on some sort of gun legislation. Now, if you're eating strawberries today, if you're eating fresh ones, this story's not for you, but if you're eating frozen strawberries that you've thawed today, listen up because there's a multi-state outbreak of hepatitis A. It's in the U.S. and Canada, and it could be linked to fresh organic strawberries that were purchased between March 5th and April 25th. Now, those strawberries wouldn't be good anymore. You probably already would have thrown them out if they were fresh. But if you bought them and you froze them, don't eat them. These are strawberries branded as Fresh Campo and HEB. So the FDA says that the strawberries were sold at Aldi, HEB, Kroger, Safeway, Sprouts, Trader Joe's, Walmart, Weis Markets, and Winco Foods, and maybe some other places. But the branding is the important thing. Fresh Campo and HEB brand. The FDA says if you're not sure what brand you bought or when, throw them away. Better safe than sorry, because there are 17 cases of illness, of hepatitis A illness in the U.S., and 12 of those have been hospitalizations. No deaths yet, but 12 hospitalizations. So keep that in mind if you're eating any strawberries that have been previously frozen today or in the near future. Now let's talk about the forecast, because if you are outside enjoying the weather today, you know it is hot. It is a hot one. There's sunshine, there's high clouds, it's hot and humid, upper 80s to low 90s throughout the day today. Tomorrow, it'll be warm with a few clouds, mid to upper 60s, so a bit of a drop in the temp. That's tonight, not tomorrow. That makes sense. In the evening, it would drop to the upper 60s. Tuesday, there'll be sunny skies. It'll continue to be hot again in the upper 80s and the low 90s. And then on Wednesday, there will be showers and storms coming in, so it'll be warm and humid in the low to mid 80s. So we've got a couple of days here of lots of hot and some sunshine. And if you are keeping track of what's going on at Cedar Point, like a lot of people, you might be interested to know that there is a first look at the construction site for what might be replacing the Wicked Twister. There's work happening. It's a fenced-off area along the Lake Erie shoreline, and a Facebook account called CP Rundown shared some photos of the surrounding area of the construction zone, and it is from Max Air to the restrooms near the Gatekeeper Ride exit plaza, and there are markings on the ground. We've got the link on WKYC.com. Take a look at those photos if you're interested in the first look at the construction happening at Cedar Point. We don't know what's coming. There is a lot of speculation. Some people are speculating that it might be a new restaurant. Others are hoping for a new ride, and Cedar Point has their lips sealed. They are not saying much, but they do say, we'll be able to see some of those changes along the shoreline as the season progresses this season. And congratulations are in order to the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets because their baseball team has earned a spot in the Division III College World Series. And this is only the second time the program has won a spot. They swept Endicott in the NCAA Super Regionals to go on to the College World Series. They had a win on Friday, 4-2, and then they had a come from behind win on Saturday, 7-4, and that is what punched their ticket to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which is where the College World Series is taking place. And they went there the first time in 2014, and when they went there in 2014, they did win their opening game, and then they got eliminated with 2 straight losses. So it's an 8-team final tournament. It starts on Friday, and the bracket and the matchups are to be determined. So we'll let you know what that is when we find out that information. And if you are a stargazer tonight, here's some information for you. There is a broken comet that could produce a Memorial Day meteor shower late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Now, this is a comet that first shattered more than 25 years ago. It's a bit of a long shot, but here's what NASA says. Earth will be passing through the debris trail of this comet. The comet is called SW3. That's an abbreviation. The full name is on WKYC.com. 73P/Schwarzmann-Walkman. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the abbreviation is SW3, and it is still fragmenting. So if the fragments were ejected fast enough, if they're going fast enough, we might see a meteor shower, and that's called the Ta Hercules. But NASA is not making any promises. They say it will be an all-or-nothing event in a blog post. If the debris was traveling more than 220 miles per hour when it's separated from the comet, we might see a meteor shower. Now, if the debris had slower speeds, we won't see anything. But NASA said this. It could potentially be a pretty spectacular sight, so they didn't want to not say anything in the event that it happened. Here's the other good news. Tonight will be a new moon, so there won't be any moonlight to wash out faint meteors. The peak time to watch will be around 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. You'll want to be in an area with clear, dark skies to have the best chance at spotting possible meteors. And get out there a little bit before 1 a.m. because it'll take 15 to 20 minutes for eyes to adjust to the darkness. And now, if you are still with me, it is time for the special guest introduction that I promised you. And I would like to introduce you to this little guy. He is the newest member of the WKYC family. He doesn't have a name yet, but if you are a member of the What's New Facebook page, you can weigh in. This little guy belongs to myself and Mr. Michael Polk Jr., and we are very happy to have him, and he's very happy to meet all of you. He joined the family on Saturday. He was born on March 31st, and he is a sweet, sleepy little baby, and he doesn't have a name yet. We've got a couple contenders, so go to the What's New Facebook page. Let us know what you might think about what we should call this little guy. I hope you are all having a wonderful Memorial Day, celebrating, honoring the people who gave everything so that we could be here and have these freedoms. And from this little nameless pup and me to you, have a wonderful rest of your holiday, and I will see you back here tomorrow with more 3 News Now.